The champagne flutes were still trembling when she said it. "I think it's time we talk about ending this." For a second, I thought I'd misheard her. The sound of the ocean crashing beyond the wide glass walls swallowed her words, but her expression, still, practiced, cold, made them unmistakable. The boxes weren't even unpacked yet. The scent of new wood and wet paint still clung to the air, sharp and clean. 10 years of sketches, loans, overtime shifts, late-night arguments over tile color and window frames. And she waited until the first night in our house to shatter everything. I laughed. It wasn't the sane kind. "You're joking." She didn't blink. "I'm not." We'd met at a construction site, back when I was still wearing my father's old boots and carrying a lunchbox held together with duct tape. She'd been the client's daughter, curious, chatty, with a sketchbook always in hand. She said she loved how I built things with quiet precision. I said she was too good for my world of dust and deadlines. When she told me her dream was to live in a house by the ocean, all glass and light, I promised I'd build it. She laughed then, said she'd hold me to it. I didn't realize she actually would. We stood in the kitchen now, her dream kitchen, white marble counters reflecting the dim amber glow from the pendant lights. The moving truck had just left an hour ago. I could still hear its rumble fading down the coastal road. "Claire," I whispered, the word trembling out of me. "What are you saying?" Her eyes flickered toward the envelope on the counter. I hadn't noticed it before. Ivory, thick paper, my name written in her looping script. "I'm filing for divorce, Evan." My stomach clenched. The marble floor seemed to tilt beneath me. "I waited until we moved in," she added softly. "It felt like the right time." My voice cracked. "The right time to destroy me." She looked down, hands clasped. "I didn't want to do this before your dream was finished." "My dream?" I laughed again, a hollow sound. "You think this was my dream? This was yours, Claire. Every nail, every beam, every damn brick. I built it for you." Later, when I replayed that moment, I'd remember how calm she was. No tears, no shouting. Just quiet finality, like someone signing off on a checklist. That calmness broke me more than any argument could have. I stumbled out of the kitchen, needing air. The ocean stretched out beyond the glass, the moon caught in its restless black ripples. The patio doors were open, and the wind pushed through the house like an intruder, cold and whispering. That's when I noticed the other glass on the patio table. Half empty, a smudge of lipstick on its rim. My pulse started hammering. "Who was here, Claire?" asked, my voice too sharp. She hesitated. "Too long." "Just a friend," she said. "Which one?" "You don't know him." My hands clenched until my knuckles ached. "Try me." Her silence stretched thin as wire. For weeks, there had been odd moments. Her phone lighting up at midnight, the sudden trips to meet suppliers. Her perfume lingering long after she'd left for meetings. I'd noticed, of course, but I was too tired, too buried in blueprints and bills to confront her. I told myself it was stress. She wanted the house perfect. I wanted her happy. That was my first mistake. I moved closer now, my shadow cutting across the marble. "Tell me who he is." She exhaled, slow and heavy. "Evan, please. Don't do this tonight." "Tonight. You hand me divorce papers in our new house and you think there's a better night." Her jaw tightened. "His name's Daniel." The name hit like a steel beam to the chest. Daniel. My contractor. My friend. The man who'd spent every weekend helping me lay foundation slabs when I couldn't afford extra labor. The one who said, "You're lucky, man. Claire's one in a million." The man I just handed a bottle of whiskey this morning as thanks. I stepped back, breath catching. The ocean outside roared louder, like it was mocking me. "How long?" asked. Her lips parted, then pressed shut again. "How long, Claire?" Tears glimmered in her eyes finally, but they looked rehearsed, like apologies on a script. "About a year." My throat burned. "A year?" "That's when I realized we weren't," she faltered. "We weren't in love anymore." I stared at her, every memory collapsing in on itself. The late-night coffees. The arguments about money. The moment she hugged me after I signed the final loan. All eyes. All rehearsed. I don't remember walking to the wall where the blueprints still hung. I just remember tearing them down, the paper ripping like skin. "Evan, stop," she cried. "This house was supposed to save us." Shouted. "You said once we built it, everything would make sense. You said we just needed something beautiful to start over." Her voice broke. I lied. The honesty in it, the naked, brutal honesty, cut deeper than anything else. She wasn't cruel. Just like she'd already moved on to another life. And I was a shadow left behind. We sat apart for hours after that. Me on the couch, her by the window. No words. Just the sound of waves, and the faint hum of the refrigerator, filling the silence between us. Every so often she'd glance at me, as if searching for something. Maybe permission, maybe forgiveness, but I had nothing left to give. When dawn crept in, pale and indifferent, she stood. "He's waiting for me." The sentence was simple, final. I didn't move. Didn't speak. I just watched her pick up her bag, the one I'd given her on our 5th anniversary. She hesitated at the door, fingers trembling slightly. "I didn't plan it this way," she whispered. I almost believed her. Then she was gone. I stayed there until the sun climbed high, lighting every corner of the house. Dust motes floated in the golden beams, and the air smelled of salt and sawdust. I walked through every room. The living room she designed, the bedroom she painted herself, the balcony where she said she'd watch sunsets with me when we were old. Now all of it felt hollow. That's when I saw it. A small notebook left open on the counter. Her handwriting, neat and looping, filled the page. It wasn't a to-do list. It was a timeline. Expenses. Delivery schedules. And one line near the bottom. Daniel to oversee final inspection. October 9th. Tell Evan after move-in. My breath froze. She hadn't just fallen out of love. She'd planned it, down to the day we moved in. The house wasn't a gift. It was a parting gesture. A monument to her guilt. I stood there, staring at her words until they blurred. Outside, the waves kept breaking against the rocks, relentless and uncaring. Inside, the silence of the dream house pressed down on me. Heavy, perfect, and utterly empty. That night, I turned off every light, leaving the house in darkness. The moon glinted off the glass walls, reflecting 100 distorted versions of me. Builder, husband, fool. And for the first time, I understood what I had really built. Not a home. A shrine to a love that had died long before the first brick was laid.